Hello. You're gonna have to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure now. Yes, you are such a hipster. Oh! So we missed that whole rant. It's fun. The fingers of the JoJo family go deep.
Can you hear me now? For some reason, my microphone was off. Anyway, my rant was that. So I was saying thank you, Kronos, for 6 months of dog. And then I was also thanking Virtue Bites, Jolly Jolts on Air, and JoJo Joestar 07 for following while I was out. Uh, and then
Isn't the seventh Joestar a woman?
yes, the
I
seventh
think it
Joestar
is.
is a woman, indeed. Yes, I hear she's getting
You know
animated
that.
soon.
You
I
know that.
I know all the basic stuff because I like to keep in. I want to be able to hold a conversation if it should ever come up, but I won't watch it. You can't make me.
I won't like it. I'm just watching it to stay informed.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you for the smoke weed routine. It's loud as always.
It's not legal, so I don't like it. It's legal where you. It's legal where you are. It's not legal where I am.
Yeah, it better be legal where I am since I work at a weed company. It would be bad if it wasn't legal and I was working at a weed company.
I would like to purchase one weed, please.
Well, that'll be like $50. Dancing
In
dog.
this economy?
Yes. Look, you want to get high. It's going to cost you.
Yeah, fucking capitalism ruins everything.
Ah. Yes, thank you. I'm happy that me being dancing helps you. So, today's subject is going to be about these motherfuckers right here on the screen. Uh, but before that, how is everyone doing? Hi, how are you? Welcome. This is the most active I've seen everyone being at the beginning of chat. I mean, class. I know how things work. I remember names of things.
Mhm. I'm sure you've already pulled out your cell phones and you're texting your friends and
I
everything.
know you've all got other streams pulled up onto the side
Mhm.
because I'm.
I know you're just listening to us while you grind in a video game.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's a podcast anyway, so. I know
Hmm.
you're all secretly watching Iron Mouse on the side or Takahata 101 because both of them are streaming right now.
Hmm.
I know you're just.
It's like, yeah, you could be watching a cool streamer.
Yeah, you could be watching a cool streamer right now. Also, everybody has to hold Cherry at gunpoint because she still has to record her video for Shoujo. Remember how I said I was gonna do that 2 weeks ago?
You're not setting a good example for the class if you won't even turn in your homework.
But I don't know what to say.
Yeah, by the way, we're having a pop quiz today.
Yeah.
I've passed out your exams. They will have been sent to your email addresses. Please fill them out and have them turned in before the end of class.
All right. So,
It counts as 55% of your grade.
yeah. Azur's a very tough grader, so
Hmm.
just because he
Going by my
likes
own
cross
college
dressing
experience.
during the just because he likes cross dressing during the Inuyasha stream doesn't mean that he's gonna go easy on you.
Yes, apparent. That's one of my characteristics now. Apparently,
No, it's cosplay. It's okay. It's not. It's not weird if it's cosplay. I changed the colors of the outfits because I thought that would be better. I think blue looks better on you than green. What do you think?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It goes better with the white.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome to class 101. We're going to be talking about some obscure stuff, kind of, in the lore of Type Moon. So,
Is this really even lore?
kind of. I mean, it exists and it caused a lot of interesting things to happen. So, I mean, it's at least lore for.
I suppose that if it affects Fate Grand Order, it has to be considered lore.
Probably.
Because the Chibi Nova invasion did happen.
Yep.
We know it happened because it got referenced in the Solomon arc.
Yeah, it happened. It happened indeed. It's also referenced in almost every other event where Nobu and Okita show up. So, yeah.
But who are Nobu and Okita?
Oh, gee, I don't know. Let's find out. All right.
Those sound like nicknames.
Yeah. So we have to start off. We must go back. We must go back to the beginning, where
Oh God!
everything started.
Another history class.
Yes, another history class.
Are we going to learn about the road again? I don't want to do that again.
Mm-hmm. We must
That
first
was way
go
too in
back.
depth.
So once upon a time, there was this magazine. I know this may sound strange to you because this is like archaic technology. There was this magazine called Comp Ace. And in this magazine, stuff was published for a bunch of computer games, supposedly. That's where the comp comes from, computer. Anyway, one of these series was like Type Moon
Mama.
and stuff like that. And
Okay, like computer visual novels.
Yeah.
Visual novels.
Visual novels. Look, this magazine is published by Katakoa, so what do you expect?
Here, let's do this. This is a less objectionable image.
Yeah, bye-bye, compass.
But evidently, it's just like anime.
Mm-hmm. It's
More
just
than-
anime
it's-
and stuff.
More than just computer shit, because
Yeah.
like a lot of those are just animes.
Well, basically, it's evolved over the years.
Mhm.
It also has the spin-off comic. I mean, not comic. The spin-off magazine, Type Moon Ace, which is all dedicated to just Type Moon shenanigans. But anyway, inside the original Comp Ace is where the first Koha Ace comics first came about. And if you don't know what Koha Ace stands for, well, Koha actually is half of a name of a titular character from the Tsukihime franchise.
We can't make jokes about that show about it not existing anymore
It
since it
exists
has
now.
finally come out.
It has 2 openings animated by Ufotable, so that means it exists now.
Amazing considering that their president admitted like within the last week that yeah he did do tax evasion.
Yeah, I did do tax evasion. What are you gonna do? Throw me in jail? Yes.
It's like oh wait you are shit.
Shit.
It's like what if I draw your waifu really sexy? It's like that sir, that doesn't work in the real world.
But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to Type Moon after Ufotable. I mean, I'm sure they have a backup president ready.
Yeah, it's just like they pump them out.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a backup president ready to go after they sort out the tax evasion. But yeah, anyway, so this titular character is Kohaku. She is the Genki maid girl from Tsukihime, and maybe your new main in Melty Blood. I don't know. We'll find out. You may be more interested in her twin sister.
And going by Prisma Ilya, possibly a sexual offender.
Possibly. I mean, her route is pretty weird. So, yeah. Yeah, her route's pretty weird. Not that we would know, because only 2 routes are being done so far, and everything else will be DLC! DLC for visual novel, guys! What a time to be alive!
It's gone too far.
What a time!
We need to reset the system. We must return to monkey.
Yes, we turn to monkey.
When visual novels get DLC, that's when you know that society
To
has
unlock the
regressed
other
to the
routes,
point
you
where
must
it's
buy
beyond.
the DLC.
Mm-hmm. To
Uh...
unlock this game's true ending, please deposit $50.
Well, like I was saying, and the other thing, you know it was the only way that you were going to get Natsu to rewrite this thing. Because it looks like they finally gave CL a more important story than the first time around.
You mean not just like a companion piece to Arcoed?
Yeah, it looks like she's got a lot of shit happening from her opening movie. So,
Mhm. For those of you wondering who we're talking about, those would be the two girls on the far right.
yeah. I hope to one day be able to read it when it's not on the Switch and it's on the cave, then somebody finally makes a patch and then I can play it in English. No one will know my pain!
Still waiting on that CCC patch.
Yeah, they're working on it though.
Yeah, they've been working on the rewrite Harvest Festa patch since before I graduated college, which was 6 years ago.
Yeah, look, it takes a long time to translate this work, you know, when you're only a few people working on something. And
this is true, but I think that at some point you just have to say, I think it's time we give up the ghost.
well, they managed to subtitle Sakura Wars after all those years of working on it. I have faith. I have faith that they can do it somehow. And of course, that was after pulling three separate groups working together on it individually, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's combine forces and do."
Makes you wonder what the quality control is like.
I don't know. It was probably insane. Anyway, so Koha Ace, yeah. What is that about? So,
well, you said it was a magazine.
Well, it was a comic inside a magazine.
Ah.
Uh-huh. Comic inside a magazine, and it was all about Kohaku's wacky zany adventures. Of course, this grew to be so popular, you may be familiar with the Koha Ace stuff, as seen in such things like the original Carnival Phantasm.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they do a New Year's special?
Yes,
with Koha
they did
Ace?
do a New Year's special.
In which they teased.
But it was Guda Guda
In which they
Order.
basically teased an anime for Fate Redline, which is never going to happen.
Fate Redline didn't even exist yet, actually, I don't think.
Well, I'm just. It was those characters. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Also, Sakura Saber apologizes for basically taking over Koha Ace to her.
Yeah, she's kind of like the Fonz of Koha Ace.
Mm-hmm.
She comes in, she bangs on the jukebox, and she coughs up blood.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so in the original, it was basically Kohaku, Ayaka. If I'm pronouncing her name right, I get those. I get a bunch of the characters mixed up. So.
Ryder from Fate Stay Night.
Fate Stay Night. Blue Saber. And Mordred. Nero is a visiting character from time to time. But well, actually it was originally Kohaku and Ayaka, and then, Ryder showed up eventually.
So just like with everything else, Fate gradually took over.
Fate did gradually take over. It was an interesting thing. Koha Ace would usually make commentary on, recent stuff that happens. Like, the artist, I think, posts stuff constantly while any anime is going or whatever. And, for example, we got the whole Artoria stabbing Mordred with the lance thing when the original Fate Zero was going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun indeed. But to point it out for basically think Koha Ace manages to get its hand on the character designs and stuff like that, like before other things will. Because I know Kentoki was actually a common character on this before, like he like actually appeared anywhere. Kentoki was going to be an Apocrypha character, but he was scrapped for a couple other berserkers instead. So interesting stuff. Yeah, there's the Capsule Servant stuff, I think.
Yeah, they did use the same art style for Capsule Servant, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
Capsule Servant was a mini game that came bundled with the Fate Hollow Ataraxia PSP game.
Yes, and it has some very interesting characters in here, such as Hakuno Kishinami from Fate Extra. Weird.
Who doesn't say a damn word.
Just JoJo poses at you.
Because her voice actors hadn't been decided on
Yeah,
yet.
they hadn't decided a voice actress yet. I guess it's a good thing they waited because the voice actress they decided to go with didn't become popular until recent years. So good on them, I guess. But yeah. So Kentoki was a common character. A lot of other characters who had designs but weren't used there would be in there. But then there was some interesting events that took place in Koha Ace, and that was it got its own servants. Basically,
Yes.
they made servants specifically for Koha Ace, and I believe
That
like
was basically the first image I posted.
yeah, and I believe the first person who was made was San Wukong. I know this is a turn out of left field, but San Wukong isn't like confirmed or anything for FGO. I don't even think it's a confirmed design. I think it was just a random scribble the artist had
That's
done
all I can see.
at one point.
I don't know. Looking at this scribble, it looks like Sun Wukong might have been a woman.
San Wukong was both male and female. They changed their gender a lot, according from what I understand from the thingy in the description in Koha Ace. Anyway, so after San Wukong was done, basically Natsu was like, "Hey, why don't we just make servants for this thing?"
Evidently, Gudaku cosplayed as Sun Wukong during that Journey to the West event.
Yep. Indeed. Is it reminiscent of their design? I don't know. You decide. I think San Wukong, just in general, has a design that everybody pretty much knows what San Wukong looks like, so. AKA, this is who Goku is based off of. Just so you guys know, I'm pretty sure you know.
Even though that's Gohan.
This is Gohan. So yeah, San Wukong was one of the first scribbles that happened. But then, you know, Takeuchi over there is like, hey, this is an excuse to have another Saber face. And so, the first servant was born, and that was Sakura Saber. Basically, according to, like, Kohaku's notes and stuff like that, oh, look at this, this is just Takeuchi's excuse to put Arturia in a kimono. What the hell, man?
That's what I thought it was.
This is what a lot of people thought until her second picture appeared with her in Shinsengumi uniform, and that's when everybody realized, oh wait, this is a whole new character in general, and this is actually Okita Soji, from the captain of the first division in the Shinsengumi.
Can we put up a new picture? Can we put up a new frame?
Yeah, let's put up a new frame. Boop. Here we go. And so this gremlin was born. Until a publication later when they're like, hey, or was it a page later? I don't know. All I know is at one point they're like, "Hey, what if we got like another designer and we have another character in here to be like her antithesis? What if we make another character to go with this character for Koha Ace?" And then Nobunaga Oda was born because, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
Mhm. And of course, these both of these characters were originally men
Hmm.
in real life, or
I
at
think they
least
decided to gender bend them just for the shits and giggles because it
it's
was
because it was
Koha
pretty
Ace.
much a meme. It was pretty much its own meme at this
It was
point.
pretty much a meme at this point. These two characters were just created to be a meme. Okita was created to continue because Okita is actually like technically the second real saber face. Most people don't consider Jean a part of the lookalikes. So like Okita was like the second
I feel
true
like
clone.
I feel like she should be though,
She should
because I mean,
be,
like even like it's like
but
because
like
half the people want to say like it's only like different forms of Artoria that are the that are the saber faces, but then it's like, but they still consider Okita a saber face, and she's definitely not Artoria.
she is not Artoria. I mean, when they're drawn by different people, Okita, Arturia, and Nero don't look anything alike.
Right.
Arco Wada.
Blessed be.
Blessed be Arco Wada, who's great at body types. Just so you know, body types. Nero's the short stack. Arturia is surprisingly the mid-lanky one. However, Okita is I think she's a little taller than Arturia, and she's got bigger boobs.
Well, it's the heels.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm not sure. They might be close to the same side. I don't know. Arturia might be the tallest of the group. It has to do with height. The taller you are, the smaller your boobs are, I guess. Unless you're just a giant woman, then
There's some fetishists out there who would disagree. It's like, no, damn it, no.
just by the way, Natsu has a Titan fetish. I just thought
We've
we
said
should all
that.
be
We've
clear.
said that before. We need to.
We need
I
to
feel like we need
reiterate
to
this.
keep.
This is
Yes.
a very important thing. This will be on the test. Natsu has a Titan fetish. Please remember this. Okay, so after these two bozos were born, it spawned a lot of insanity, I guess to say. One of the first things that it spawned was Type Koha Ace, which was a parody Grail War comic. Basically, it took all the reoccurring characters from Guda, I mean not Guda, from Koha Ace. It took all those characters, made new characters, and then Grail Wars happened. This would eventually become Type Redline, but we're not at that point yet. So just so you know, every single character who is responsible for the Guda events in Fate Grand Order, all of those characters originated from this comic.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ryoma, the Berserker character whose name I forget, Lee Shuwen's older form, Ieyasu, is that his name? I'm not sure. But basically, yeah.
I do not know most of these characters' names. I know Nobunaga and I know Soji, and that's it basically.
You don't know Old Man Lee Shuwen?
I do not know Old Man Lee
He's the
Shuwen.
gray one in the back. Gray-haired one in the back. How do you not know Old Man Lee Shuwen?
Probably because I stopped playing before he was introduced in Fate Grand Order.
He has important stuff to do in the new. Anyway, uh, so yeah, these guys very, very important characters. So also a couple other characters. If you're wondering who the guy all the way back of the line, that's that math demon guy. Who who, who I can't believe that they've actually made this canon. Oh, what I can't. Is it Maxwell's demon or something like that? It's a freaking math equation. Is what he fucking is.
Oh, well, that makes sense because math is the devil.
Yes, math is evil, or ambiguous, I guess, if you're in guda.
Like, I mean, as soon as they created the concept known as imaginary numbers, we should have known it was all downhill.
Yep, it was all downhill from there. Ugh. But yeah, they made this canon. He did appear in the latest English guda event. I don't know if they're actually going to make him a servant or not in the future. Probably, maybe not, because he's kind of a weird entity. But who knows? We still haven't gotten a number of characters from other medias yet in Grand Order. So it's up in the air with who could possibly become a servant in the game.
Maybe even you if you study hard enough.
Yeah, if you study hard enough and make a contract with the world to become an edgy counter servant, maybe you too could be a.
This is basically what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid you making a contract with the Earth. Don't do it. It's just you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Okita Alter. Oh, actually, that's a fun thing I can talk about. So Okita Alter originally was not Okita Alter. If that makes any sense to all of you. Originally,
I believe it does.
Originally, she was a fusion between Okita and Nobunaga. They did a fusion dance, and then this was the result.
Did they do the actual fusion dance?
I don't know. I feel like I did see them, like, do a fusion ha image from Koha Haze.
Like I know the full page spread that shows this character. I cannot find it though.
Mm-hmm.
Like this looks like this is fan art. I can't post this.
Yeah.
I'll just put up a picture of Okita Alter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like someone's actually translating Koha Ace things now.
Yeah, so apparently the fusion of two Japanese women makes you dark skinned for some reason.
Shh, don't think about it. After stuff happened, they decided just to change it to her alter counter servant form. Because they're like, I think this makes more sense in canon lore, not crazy Koha Ace lore.
And that's when they lost all of the Dragon Ball fans.
Yeah. But yeah, oh yeah, those heels were definitely made for walking. Basically, I believe the explanation is Okita needs the extra height because her katana is so freaking long that she'd be.
How does one go through a? How does one walk through a doorway with that thing?
No.
It's like I feel like at a point, it doesn't matter what angle it goes in. Like it doesn't matter how you tilt it, diagonal, vertically, whatever. It's like you're not getting that thing in the house.
Mm-hmm.
They have to chain it up to the fence with like a bike lock.
Anyway, so yeah, so after all this shenanigans was said and done, uh,
Shenanigans.
eventually, Fate, it was time to get Fate Grand Order rolling around. But it's like they wanted to do a big, fun, get people hyped for it sort of thing. And so that is when Fate Guda Guda happened. And basically it is they took Okita and Nobu from the comic to host their own little web series to get to get you ready for this game.
Mhm. And here they are with all the original advertised servants from the very earliest days of Fate Grand Order.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they were advertising characters like Dr. Jekyll and Mistopheles?
Yep.
Remember such great plot contributions Mistopheles made to Fate Grand Order.
Oh, Mistopheles.
And Xerxes too, man,
Mm-hmm.
he's just like I think that the most that he's done is he showed up in Fate Extra, the anime.
Anyway, if anybody ever, you could actually read all of the English translated version of Guda Guda on the official site, I believe.
I mean, at least Ushi Wakamaru actually played a huge role in the
Mm-hmm.
Babylon chapter.
At least Ushi Wakamaru had stuff. I think that was them realizing, oh shit, we haven't used half of the characters in the lineup.
It's like I feel like Altera was probably the most like the biggest one, and like
She was
she's
the
like
biggest one, but she
she
still
does
didn't
nothing.
do much. Yeah,
She does
she
nothing.
does do
Even in
nothing.
the chapter that she appears in, she does
Yeah.
nothing.
Maybe Arjuna, I guess, technically has
Yeah, a
somewhat of a
little
big
bit.
role. But that was like,
I'll
I
be
feel
honest,
like
I don't even
Karna
remember
over.
what chapter
I
he
feel
was
like
in.
it was the America, Cowboys versus Indians.
Uh,
But well, this time the Indians were from actual India. This time,
hmm.
I feel like Karna outshone Arjuna in that though.
Geronimo's watching this going like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
He was pretty much. I'll
American
probably say
American hero who was totally wasted
I'll
in Fate
probably
Grand
say I
Order.
think Jekyll played a decent role, maybe.
Well, he
Although
was in
maybe not.
London.
He was in
He
London.
was in London.
Yeah,
He helped out in London.
he helped out. Skahoth was just there. Not even
She showed
really.
up
She
in a
was in a
bunch.
parallel.
She showed up in a bunch of events.
Yeah, she showed up in events. She didn't do anything in the main story, from what I remember.
Mhm. I'm here in the events where I can show off the most fan service.
Hmm. Do you like this leg? Yes, we do like this leg. I'm
Mhm.
glad you may look and touch. I'm letting you touch. No, literally, she lets you touch. I swear to God.
This feels like a trap. It's like a mimic. Just like giant teeth are gonna come out of her and eat me.
Hmm. Anyway, so I will let you touch once. Pretty much. That's what Skahoth is saying for the most part. Uh, so Guda Guda, tons of comics. They then go on. They then go on to create. Uh, they had like a. They were. Sorry, words. Let me reset my brain there for a second. So when the original run was going on, they were also allowed to be the people who were teaching everybody how to play the game. So like in the guide, you'd have Okita and Nobunaga fighting over telling you how to play the game. I believe they've since been replaced as many things have changed since that
Mhm.
time. So their stuff is no longer there for the old stuff. But
I feel like they've been usurped by Gudaku.
yeah, they've been usurped by Gudaku there, I believe. Um, but they did
I
get
would
a
post I would post a picture of Gudaku, but I'm afraid she would infect the computer.
yeah. But I do believe after that happened, they got their own little fan disc thing going on, where basically Okita, Nobu, Arturia, and Ryder, along with Mordred. I keep forgetting Mordred is there, but I believe that's because
It wasn't a. I'm not sure if it was a fan disc. It was a drama CD.
it was a drama CD. Yeah, they had their own little drama CD talking all about
Fate Guda order.
Fate Guda Order. It is translated with little images for you to watch on YouTube if you should ever want to laugh.
I believe. Go ahead.
I believe this is where the take off your clothes and scream real loud is from. If you ever want.
Which is just something that happens in Koha Ace to begin with. It's
Yeah.
just characters will sometimes just show up without their clothes on.
Yeah.
And it's always only the women.
It's only the women. This is true. It's just a whole
It's
mood.
just a whole mood.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is a whole mood. But it's a great laugh if you ever want to listen to it. Well, I guess watch it in our case because you need to see the subtitles.
I think that they talk about like they'll talk about like they talked about at the time current Type Moon news. Like I believe
Yeah.
that they talked about the announcement of Heaven's Feel getting its movie.
Mhm.
Ryder was happy about that, and she wouldn't let Sakura Saber steal the spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they talk about the news. They're used a lot for April Fool stuff. And I guess then that brings us to today with Fate Redline. So, after all of this nonsense, after we've commented, like we would talk about this about with all our Type Moon friends, they're like, it was like Fate Guda, or no, Fate type Koha Ace actually has a pretty interesting premise because it is a third Grail War offshoot instead of a fourth Grail War offshoot like most of them are. So they're like, actually, this would be a pretty interesting story. Why haven't they done this seriously? And here we are today, where they were like, why haven't we done this seriously?
And then someone saw that Studio Madhouse film Redline, and they thought that would be a cool name for a Fate manga.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about Redline now?
Yeah, we're talking about Redline.
We're talking about okay.
So I'll say
So
this.
yeah, it's a little bit grittier than the pictures we've shown before.
You might want to check it out. It is drawn by the same person who does Demon Slayer. Not that I would know anything about Demon Slayer, but their art is pretty good. Just wanted to say, it's pretty nice looking.
You say that like you totally are not being sponsored by them to say nice things about them.
No, I'm not. I just want people to appreciate good artists when I see them. You know.
Yes. By shoving it in their faces
Yes.
and beating them to death with it.
Take it. Also, I want to show how I'm going to show you. I'm going to drop in something too, because I want to show how accurate to the source material it is decided to be. Let's see if this works. Here we go. So here are. We might want to make this bigger for some of them. So here are like some of the characters who were in the thing, and as you can see, like they were like, for example, Ryder was a master, Arturia was there. So basically, our artist here has gone and remade characters who have very similar traits to the gag characters who were in their place at one time. Like the Shinji replacement has the same hairstyle as him.
But he wears glasses, so that means he's smart now.
Yeah, he's smart now.
Mm-hmm.
The writer person kind of has an Onesan look to her. And I think she's got... No, her eyes are normal. Well, her eyes look kind of a little different, actually, from other people.
He's got the lips.
Yeah, she's got the lips. Our Arturia replacement seems done with everything, like Arturia
Dead
was.
inside, regretting the choices
everything.
of their past life.
Yeah. She also has a braid hairstyle, even though it's loose. So you can see where that was from. And then we have Kohaku's replacement, where they're like, well, we can't use Kohaku or anything relative. So here's this dumb guy from the future we dropped in here. Because I'm pretty sure sneakers didn't exist yet. Did sneakers exist during World War II?
Here.
Are
Are you telling me he was isekai?
Yeah.
Those do not look like World War II. Those do not look like World War II clothes.
No. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, he's actually, he was isekai there to be Saber's master, and apparently one of the people, like the person who's helping him get around is apparently his grandma. Shh! Don't let anybody know!
Oh no!
Oh
no! I'm just saying, this seems very close to a war concept I came up with, and I feel like I should be owed some royalties. Like pulling in masters from different timelines. That was something that I came up with a friend.
Yeah. It's totally not
It's
a
like
concept they've thought.
First Toriyama steals my plot outline for the future Trunks saga in Dragon Ball Super, and now my Grail concept has been stolen by Type Moon. Like I should no longer have to work. I should be rolling in royalties. Oh yeah. Star Wars The Last Jedi stole the ship name that I was going to use, Supremacy, for my Star Wars fanfic. So, I'm also pissed off about that.
Rude.
Rude.
Yep, rude. But yeah.
I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
Koha Ace. Anyway. So, yeah, then it spawned Redline, and so you're wondering, well, that's all good and all. But what does this have to do with Koha Ace? Well, Koha Ace is still going on today, from that I am sure, because as long as they're publishing...
As long as Type Moon is relevant.
As long as Type Moon is relevant, there will always be a new Koha Ace. Animation and or otherwise.
And I'm sure that the day that it finally ends will be like when newspaper comics end, and you have to save the clippings and show it to your grandkids and say, I was there when this comic ended. And they're just like, shut up, Grandma, I'm trying to watch the holographic television.
I was there. Did you know that we used to have to not be able to use the phone and the internet at the same time?
See, in my day, you had to wait until the crossing light changed before you could cross the street. Now you kids in your hover shoes can just float above the traffic.
That's me changing things. There you go. Here's an example with how Koa Ace is still going, still doing the best things that they can do.
With servants from, well, I guess, oh god, it's probably been a few years since that servant was introduced in Grand Order.
Yeah.
Although did she originate in Koa Ace?
I think she was the first. She might have appeared in a Koa Ace thing earlier, but I think that was just so they could get it out before the servant appeared in a thing, just so they could say it was from Koa Ace. But she's actually the first character that wasn't originally from, the batch of servants that came from that little comic in the Guda Order events. It's possibly they had to create a new one just
You didn't talk about... We didn't talk about the Guda Fake Grand Order event.
We have not yet. We can talk about that now if we wish. All
We
right.
should, because I feel like that's when it became mainstream.
This is when it
At least
became
for Western
mainstream. Yes, this
audiences.
is when the Western audience first realized, oh, there's a lot going on with these characters. I didn't know that. And I believe this is also when they first got popular, because there's one way to make a character popular over here in the West, right? That is meme the shit out of things. Alright, so constantly, I'm pretty sure it was mostly probably on the JP side, because originally they didn't translate the comics into English on our end. They frantically went about translating everything before this event happened, just so you could get some backstory on Okita and Nobu.
Yeah, they didn't do the same for Fate CCC when we got the Saber War event.
Yeah.
Not the Saber War, the soccer, the BB channel.
Yeah, I guess they just were hoping you would have looked it up on the internet. They're like, they're nerds. They probably know what Fate CCC is. It's fine. I mean, Fate CCC still gets referenced in freaking Extella.
It does.
And nobody will notice it.
May or may not have happened.
May or may not have happened.
Those were Tamamo's exact words.
Oh. But yeah, so I'm sure on the JP side they were like, when are Okita and Nobu getting put into the game? And they're like, never, probably. Also, Okita and Nobu were also annoyed greatly because it turns out the comics were still going. Wow.
It's like we're not being paid.
Yeah, we're not being paid. They were annoyed, and at one point they came back and they were like, "Oh, are you guys excited for Fate Grand Order?" Nah, I haven't installed that days ago. Shitty game. And they're like, "Oh, didn't you guys hear? You're getting an event." And they're like, "Wow, Fate Grand Order! That's an amazing game! Oh, I can't wait to roll for me."
Actually, I think I've seen that comic. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yes, there we go. I got it.
All right, found the comic where they realized they were getting an event. Free to play all the way. So you two are going to be finally playable in the game. I've actually been farming Archer Monuments every day. Hijikata-san, go buy some iTunes cards. I need iTunes cards.
Funny thing is, I don't think you need Archer. You didn't need Archer Monuments to ascend.
No, this was.
She had her special thing.
Yeah, she had a special thing. Because. But this event was actually important because I believe this was the first event that I might be wrong.
If you're gonna say free servant, no.
No, not for free servant. That was the
Halloween event.
Not. Yeah, I believe this was like the first event where it like changed the way the events work.
It was the first time that the event servant that you got for free was actually usable.
Yeah.
Nobunaga was pretty legit.
Nobunaga is actually still not too bad of a servant, despite, things have gone by. You can't go wrong with a Buster Archer, in my opinion.
I'm actually curious to see where she stands on the current tier list.
Probably not too high, but, free servants these days, like, Nobunaga onwards, free servants worked pretty well going forward. Nobunaga also was one of the first. She was also the first servant to get put into the game. That didn't have a rollable counterpart yet. And this would be the trend for all the guda characters going forward. That they would like be new servants entirely that you would get for free, and then sometimes they'll get rollable counterparts in the future. In fact, we got 2 Nobus, a Summer Nobu and her Demon Lord Nobu, who is a babe, by the way.
Yes. She's C minus right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, so are a lot of other servants that were once considered good.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, she's gotten 2. She's gotten 2 retrains basically. She's got her summer version and she got the 5-star version.
Yep.
Which is just her again.
Which is
as
just
an
her
Avenger.
again. Yep. Ah. We
And
gotta
her
love
summer
Nobu.
version, it's basically just Shauna from Shakugan no Shauna because her hair's red.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the same voice actress.
Yep.
The Queen of Tsundere plays Nobunaga in Fate.
And Nobunaga is not a tsundere. Let's just make that clear.
No.
Nobunaga is not a tsundere.
I'm not even sure if she's interested in romance.
Nobunaga is interested in
Except maybe with Okita.
maybe with Okita. It's more of Okita. Their relationship is weird. It's more like they're slated to be eternal rivals or something like that. Basically, so what people don't know about this is you'd have to look deep into the lore of Nobunaga Oda to know about this. So Nobunaga is considered, by the standard, the one who got rid of the old ways and brought in the new ways. So real life Nobunaga was like all about progressive and getting rid of archaic things of doing things, which is why a lot of people didn't like him. So this translates over into servant Nobu's abilities. Nobunaga is an interesting servant in the fact if someone was like Gilgamesh, was facing off against Nobu, they would probably be on equal footing just because of what her ability is. Basically, Nobu has the ability to deny that something exists. If you're able to dispute that it existed at one time, she has a higher affinity over it. So she could go toe-to-toe with Gilgamesh. They say Gilgamesh probably would win, but that's only on, like, an overpower.
Like, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. You're not even real.
Yes, that's literally...
She's basically an existential argument.
Yes, she is an existential argument. Because she will also say things like, what? Magic isn't real. A grail that can...
You can't prove to me that you exist outside my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta get a picture of Claire Stanfield. Hang on.
Basically, that's one of Nobu's ability, which puts her in the top tier. So when people explain, if Nobu was fighting against any character, King Arthur, Gilgamesh, she'd be able to fight, foot to them. However, this works with a double-edged sword, kind of literally. So if Nobu was facing...
Can't you just say that you can't prove that the sword exists?
I guess, no, she can't say that.
So swords are 100% real in the Fate universe.
Yes, swords
that
are
makes
100%.
sense considering that Shiro has an affinity for them.
Mm-hmm. So this is why Okita Shoji is one of Nobu's worst enemies, because without a shadow of a doubt, we know Okita Shoji existed. And because Okita Shoji, without a shadow of a doubt, existed, and there's documents proving said existence, it cemented Okita as, like, a top swordsman that could possibly defeat Nobunaga. And so basically any character who's at, like, one point in history on, I can't remember, it's like, basically, if we've got documents for the person that existed then they could probably go toe-to-toe with Nobunaga, because Nobunaga's affinity of being able to deny their existence doesn't work anymore on them. But, yeah, so that's why Nobunaga is a double-edged sword servant. Nobunaga is one who, as in why she is called the Demon Lord of the Seventh Heaven, she denies gods exist, and her ultimate thing is Grail. I'm just gonna turn it into an atomic bomb. Okay, bye. Literally, that's literally what she wants to do. Because it must be a bomb in her mind. There's no way that there's some sort of wish-fulfilling item.
She willed the Grail out of existence.
Yeah, she could will the Grail out of existence. Oh, yes. Oh.
I feel like she would have saved. I feel like she would have saved a lot of trouble for future generations had she just done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is why Nobu is a wild character in the thing, and it's kind of best just to go over these two characters together, because
Does that mean that if there's any character who is like proven to have existed,
yes,
that she cannot, she has a weakness to them?
She has a weakness to them, pretty much.
So does that mean she's weak to characters like Thomas Edison?
Yes, mostly.
Even in his lion form.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she might be able to deny, like, him having any, like, real power or anything.
Oh god, it's gonna strip him of his, like, lion powers. It's just gonna be some frail man.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gets, like, slapped the shit out of.
Mm-hmm. But as servants being servants, basically, it's, power of humanity and all this blah blah blah. I'm sure Thomas Edison wouldn't be able to stand a candle to her, since Nobunaga Oda is a very, very well-known warlord. I'm sure just that alone gives Nobunaga an edge on a lot of the characters who would possibly be able to probably stand up against her. I think Okita has, like, a stronger ability to do so. Okita, Hijikata and stuff, but mostly because they're also well known and they were, shogunate defenders, or more or less. But yeah, that's getting into Japanese history. That's complicated to explain. I could explain it, but you might have a better, easier time of understanding it reading Rurouni Kenshin. Even though it's fiction, it's still got a lot of stuff that explains what kind of was going on back then.
Mm-hmm. Just buy it used.
Yeah, buy it used. Or read it online. I'm sure there are sites that have it up.
Mm-hmm. It is possible to enjoy that series guilt-free if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about that.
We don't need to talk about that.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Google it. We're not going to discuss it here.
Yeah. I don't really want to get into it. It's over now. It's been done with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth talking about. Basically,
I feel like maybe one episode was not enough to cover the whole of Guda Guda. Like, maybe we need to do, like, some additional parts to cover the other characters. I feel like we've only talked about Okita and Nobu.
These are the two, title characters from Guda Guda, mm-hmm. So of course they're going to take up the thing. We will probably have to go into things talking about other characters eventually. But, I mean, we will probably talk about more... We'll talk about, like, more of their histories and stuff like that and other things. This is just basically talking about how this all spawned in the first place, more or less. The history thing where we can talk about, like, which each character, there's two sets of time periods that are the characters are mostly fun, except for Li Shuwen, who is from China and is here for Japan for some reason.
You're fucking up with the aesthetic.
Yeah, basically it's Edo versus feudal Japan, more or
The
less.
old versus the new.
Yeah, old versus new, more or less. Which is why it's kind of Nobunaga's. They're basically Nobunaga's weakness, because more or less it's the path Nobunaga was trying to set. So, like,
She's literally trying. Just her whole thing's just like "Be gone, boomer." That is literally her thing.
yeah, be gone, boomer. Yeah. It's like, and then Okita's like, no, you be gone, boomer. And she's like, ah! 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 God, that hurts so bad!
It feels wrong when you say it.
Oh, God! That's basically their relationship, spits out blood. Yeah, that's what Okita does a few seconds later after this whole exchange happens, because...
Yeah, isn't there like one other like thing that we really need to talk about with Okita that involves her health?
Oh, Okita. Okay, so we're gonna... Final thing. Okita and her health issues. Which is hilarious. Because let's talk about this. So servants are regularly summoned in their prime. Back when they were peaked at their ability. However, sometimes weird things can happen. And basically, this has to do with how Okita is remembered by the common people. So, for some reason, people think Okita has been sickly his entire life. That is false. He got leukemia, like a year or so before he died, because, you know, leukemia wasn't curable back then. Now we got a cure. Thank you, bone marrow donators, for all that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yay for necromancy!
Yay!
That's what it is. That's what it is, right?
Yeah. Yay, necromancy. So for some reason, so because everybody sees, oh, Okita was just sickly their entire life, this has transferred over to the servant. So she is stuck with leukemia still as a servant. And, don't worry, she won't die from it, but it causes her to not be able to do long battles, and she has to end it quickly if she wants to have a chance to have any chance in fighting. So basically it's only when she exerts herself, you know, gets too excited, fights for too long. This is when the blood happens.
Basically like every other dialogue you have with her in Fate Grand Order.
Pretty much. I actually need to go and read this now, because I wonder, like, how serious they've done her character, since she's actually a pretty upbeat character in Fate Grand Order, and we all assume that's her.
I mean, it looks like there's some. It looks like some of that has shown through. Let me grab the picture that I keep seeing.
Not to be confused with Okita Alter, who is practically a baby, and she's a counter servant. But that's for next week's episode, probably, when we talk about each group of characters individually. She's a cutie pie. Must protect. But yeah. But I've been saving this for a rainy day. I'm not ready yet to read it. But I know it's gonna be good. So
the longer you wait, the more chapters you'll have to read at once.
Right. So
which, you know, is nice.
Yep. So, I mean, I still need to go back and actually watch Fate Zero still. So I should probably do that first. So then you're like, what? Cherry, you haven't watched the original... Look, I know Fate Zero is good, okay? It's... It's because it's good that I don't want to watch it yet. I got a lot of crap to go through before I get to Fate Zero. There's a lot of stuff happening in the Fate universe that's not as good. Some stuff just isn't as good as the other stuff. Okay?
Mhm. Ooh, it looks like some of the chibi art translated into the Redline manga for like specifically like speech bubbles.
Haha, cute. Oh, but yeah, I think I think this about wraps up for this particular thing because we've gone over the history, we've gone over the manga that spawned because of it, we've gone over uh the guda that happens in the thing. Uh, I can't really talk about too much about the other gudas without getting into the other characters. So
So
I
that'll be
think
next week.
yeah. So this is a next week thing. I'm thinking we'll probably work from the Edo period. No, not Edo period. We probably should work from since most of the characters come from Nobunaga's time period. We should probably start there, and then we'll work our way over to the more modern characters. So it might take
Yeah.
this might take us 2 weeks to do for going from
Oh
here
my.
because
Special lecture.
spectral lecture that takes 2 weeks to cover the entirety because there's a lot of servants from this stuff.
I
Uh,
can't believe we have an actual schedule for
I
our lectures now.
I know with schedule. I can't believe we've come so far. We've talked to you guys about so much. We've covered a lot. I feel, and Gio has even mentioned to me, "Is like I was able to watch Giguk's video and stuff made sense. So your things are working." So I'm sorry about this. That you can now
Your results,
understand.
your individual results may vary. Your
Yeah.
individual results may vary.
Yeah. Apologies to everybody who's now understanding Fate stuff more now because we've talked
Yeah.
about it. Well, welcome to hell.
I feel like we've done them a disservice.
I know. Heck yeah. I apologize that I made you walk into hell with me.
Mhm.
But I feel like this has been a good lecture. I feel like I have left you with all the base information that you're gonna need to know before we get into the nitty gritty stuff going forward. Because, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of background, and honestly, since a lot of them come from the same thing, it is going to be kind of easier to talk about the history of all of them together than separately. So, yeah. I'm going to look for someone to raid right now. Azure, entertain our people here and tell them what do we have coming up?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow, we're going to be continuing our adventures in Inuyasha. Hopefully, we don't get trapped in a building again.
Yeah, that would suck.
Although we have a special surprise for that stream tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
We
if you
have a
follow
little-
my Twitter, you've probably seen it already.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like Santa broadcasting like who's on his naughty list.
Yeah. Remember, guys, cat VTubers, they all gotta go. All right, it looks like Laz is streaming, and he's only got 10 people in there. So I'm gonna go drop you off at his house. Be sure to annoy the heck out of him. Got it? I'm counting on all of you to do that. And, yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a fun time. Alright, you guys ready for the raid? Say bye, Azure.
Hi, Andrew. What?
No, you kind of faded out there. Okay, bye, everyone.
Am I back? Am I back in the void?
Yes. Okie dokie, I sent them off and ending stream.